Hi guys, welcome back for another video. If you're anything like me and you're also in the baby stage of your lock journey, then you know just how hard it is to find styles in between your retwists that aren't too tight and that actually look decent. Some of the main things I hear from the lock community is how hard it is to find styles that actually work, especially when you're at the very beginning. Most of the time it's due to your hair being too short, your hair just not falling and not having like a lot of weight to it, so it kind of just pokes up here and there, or that there's just not a lot of variety. Which makes sense because you're in the very beginning of your lock journey. I for one do struggle from time to time finding ways to put my hair up in between of my retwists, because as you know, you're not supposed to retwist your hair as often when you're locking it, at least no less than 4 weeks in between your retwists, so that you don't have breakage or like premature balding or things like that. And if you're not used to your hair being fuzzy or being a little unruly, then this can be really difficult for people, especially for people that are used to a very slick back look. I know for myself it's hard because I'm used to wearing ponytails or box braids or just styles where my hair can be smooth and slicked down and look done, I guess. So for me to have my hair fuzzy and unruly in between my styles, it's definitely been a testament to my patience and for my ability to just see it through to the end result, because I know eventually my hair will be locking and long and luscious and you guys won't be able to tell me nothing because I'm not going to hear it. So I'm going to show you guys 5 hairstyles that you can wear in between of your retwist or while you have a retwist that are low tension, easy to put in, and they're just kind of unique and kind of cute. So stick around for that. So a couple things you guys are going to need are as follows. So you want to make sure you have a spray bottle just to moisturize the hair and make it easier to manipulate. This is going to be your standard spray bottle. You can have a misting spray bottle. Next up, you're going to want to have some small little rubber bands. I get like the little black ones from the beauty supply store. They're usually fairly cheap. And you're also going to make sure you have some type of rubber bands. I recommend the rubber bands that don't have that little knot on it. I don't know the proper term for it, but the one where it's just no knot, it's just the normal rubber band. And you're going to want to get ones that are big enough for your hair. You don't get anything that's too tight. You don't want to have anything that pulls your hair back too much. That kind of defeats the purpose of having this protective kind of low maintenance hairstyle if you're using things that are damaging it, like super tight rubber bands. Next, you're going to want any type of brush or comb. The comb is just for if you want to clean up the parts a little bit, and then the brush is just going to be to smooth it down. I recommend a soft bristle brush. You do not want a hard brush. Do not get a hard brush. You do not want a paddle brush. Just common sense, a soft bristle brush, and also an edge brush if you're someone that likes their baby hair, so you're going to want to get those things. Next up, you're going to want some type of gel or mousse or grease and oil, just things to hydrate the hair, to make it a little more easier to manipulate and to put into the styles. You don't have to do this. I know some people, they prefer to have no product on their locks, which is perfectly fine, to each their own. You can also do a more natural agent. In my last retwist video, I spoke about using aloe vera gel to retwist my hair. There's also flaxseed gel and just so many other more natural products and things to put in your hair, especially if that is a big concern for you. But if not, just get whatever works for you, your tried and true product. I'm still in my lock journey, so I don't have a lot of products that I can recommend that I am like my top favorites. So whatever works for you, whatever works for you. You're also gonna want a scarf. I have a few here. It can be any color, any type. I just want to make sure that it's big enough and that it's breathable. You know, I have some that don't have stretch to it like this, that are a little more heavier, especially if you're in a more colder climate, it's a little helpful. And then I have lighter weight ones like this that have a little bit of stretch, and they're just cute. I love hairstyles with scarves. Even before locks, it was super easy to just put my hair back, throw a scarf on, hair looks done. Depending on the style, you might need a couple other materials, but these are just the ones I recommend that you can pretty much achieve any style with them. And I forgot to mention when I was recording, but you guys are also going to need some larger size claw clips, some medium to larger size bobby pins, and some normal size duckbill clips to achieve these looks. Alright, so that's all you guys are going to need to achieve these cute little DIY hairstyles. And before I forget, if you do enjoy content like this, hairstyle content, lifestyle content, and pretty much anything related to locks and health and wellness and those sorts of things, then go ahead and subscribe to my channel to support me and to check out any other content that I do. All right, let's get into the video. Alright guys, let's get started. Our very first hairstyle is a super cute back kind of ponytail look using our scarf. To start off, we're going to get our spray bottle and make sure we properly moisturize the hair. The most important thing when it comes to any type of protective style, or especially lock styles, is making sure your hair is properly moisturized. For me, I just use water and then I go in with my oils and then just massage it into the shafts. And that pretty much protects my hair from any hairstyle that I'm going to do with it. So as you see here, I'm breaking my hair into two sections. When it comes to having thick hair, thick coarse hair, you never want to try and force all of your hair into one ponytail. Breaking it up like this is going to ensure that there's minimum breakage and that there's just not so much tension on it. For my type of hair, I can pretty much get away with two sections. One where I'm grabbing most of the hair from the back, and then the second one where I'm pulling in the pieces from the front. And this just ensures that my hair is still protected and not as tight while it's inside of the styles. And then this part is optional, but I do go in with some gel or some edge control and putting them on these two little like twists that I pulled out. This part is optional. I do like twists when it comes to my back ponytails or my scarf looks, because other than that, all my hair is tucked away. So I like to have these two pieces as I think it frames my face very well. And then again, optional, but you can put edge control on the sides here. And then as I mentioned from the beginning, make sure that you use a soft bristle brush. If you have one of these dual-sided ones, how like one is soft and one is hard, please use the soft side. We're not ripping out our hair. We're not ripping off our edges. Use the soft side, please. And once it's to your liking, you want to make sure you get a pretty good size scarf. And at the very top, you see how I'm folding over like 1 to 2 inches? When I usually have scarves, the edges are they either like curl back or they're just way too thin. So I find that when I fold it, it gives me a little more like grip and a little more something to hold on to the front of my hair so it doesn't just slide backwards. You can use your dominant hand, but for the sake of following the video, you're going to use your left hand here and make sure you have a firm grip on the scarf. You want to find the proper, like the perfect tension between too tight and too loose so that your scarf doesn't just fall off while you're holding it. And then with your right hand, you're going to be twisting the rest of the scarf towards the back of your hair, making sure you always keep a grip on the bun part. And then using your hands alternating in order to twist the rest of the scarf. Again, it's hard to describe the tension, but you just want it firm. You don't want it super tight and you don't want it too loose. And you're just going to keep twisting until you can tuck the ends under the scarf. Usually this works for me as far as keeping the bun secure, but if you need to like put a large rubber band over it, you can do that too. I've done that a few times. Alright, and then using our bobby pins, if you have one of these where you have like a crinkly side and then a soft side, you want the crinkly side to be against the scalp. The grooves just help it to actually secure itself into your hair, especially if you have coarse hair or thin hair, or any type of texture hair. I typically get away with like 1 to 2 on each side, making sure you're putting them towards the back of the bun so that they're not very visible from the front. And yeah, that's pretty much it. It's very cute. It's my go-to style. I love this type of look, whether it's when I had locks, when I had twists, or any other hairstyle. I just think it's super cute and super sleek, and you can dress it up or dress it down. Right now, onto our second look. It's going to be the very cute little pineapple hairstyle that you see a lot of the girls wear. You want to start with moisturizing the hair, of course, with water and with oil, and then you're going to pull all of the hair basically into a very, very top ponytail, like to the top part of your head. Again, I keep these little twisties out at the front because when I do wear my scarves, all the hair is in the ponytail. So having these two at the front just frames my face, but it's not, you don't have to do it. It's just an optional thing. And going in with your ponytail holder, making sure you can pull as much hair in at the front, like into it as you can. Making sure it's not too tight, but then not too loose. For me, I always pull out these little back pieces because they're the shortest part of my hair and they don't usually catch. So I just pull it out so that it's not so much tension for me trying to force it into the ponytail. Then with your scarf, make sure it's a decent sized scarf. You're going to want to fold it in half like hamburger style. So making it half as thick because we don't need that much like surface room for this style. Now lining up the middle of the scarf with the back of your head, you're going to take the right side and cross it over to the left at first, and then take the left side and cross it over to the right, and then just using your hand to like slightly hold it in place, the right side of the scarf, so it doesn't fall over. You see how it's like a little crisscross here at the front? You're going to do that same thing with the back. So you're not tying it, you're just crisscrossing it. And then once you bring the two pieces up to the front, that's when you're going to do your knot here. Again, playing around with the tension. You don't want it so tight that it's like squeezing your ponytail, but then you don't want it so loose that like it's literally falling apart. And then with the ends here, I'm just tucking them in where I see fit. Typically just right under like where you had wrapped it over. Just find a nice little place to tuck it in where it like looks smooth, I guess. You know, to each their own. You'll find the proper place to tuck yours in. And just taking my bobby pins, I'm going in, putting them like near my ears, either like in the front or in the back. And that's pretty much it. It's super cute. I really love this one. I love me a nice updo, something that just gets the hair out the way and that gets it like out of your face. And yeah, it's super cute. For our third hairstyle, it's going to be the super cute slick back bun, slick back ponytail look. You want to start by just finding your part. As far as for this style, I think it looks best with a side part, but you're more than welcome to do a middle part if you feel that frames your face better. As far as where the side part goes, that's totally up to you. I like mine kind of toward the top middle, but you can make it as deep as you want, or just, again, it's your preference. Here I'm going in with some foaming mousse. This just personally helps me to slick back my bun. You don't have to do this. Again, if you prefer your hair to still be a little more fuzzy, you can do that too. But for me and for this style, I did go in with a mousse and then going in again with a soft bristle brush to lightly brush it and to smooth out a few of the fuzzies. And then as I mentioned from the very first style about like splitting up your ponytail, you want to still do that here. For this, I used 3 rubber bands. I broke my hair like up into 3 different ponytails because again, you do not want a lot of tension on your hair, especially with the locks. If you're putting too much tension, you're going to be making the roots very thin, which can cause breakage, and then, or like, God forbid, like your locks can fall out at the root, and that's like something that we really don't want. So just make sure that you're breaking up your ponytail. I cannot stress this enough. For my thick hair girlies, break up your ponytail. Now this is going to be the second section. I'm separating a few of the front pieces from the second ponytail that I'm doing because I'm going to be swooping it over. So you want to make sure you leave a few hairs available still at the front. Then with those pieces at the front, you're just going to take your hand, especially if you're doing a side ponytail, and you're just going to slowly mold it to like the swoop that you want it to be before putting the ponytail on. I just like mine like this. You can have yours like more covering your forehead, less covering your forehead. It's up to you. And then this last ponytail that you're putting on is going to be the tightest. So the first 2 that you put on, it's okay if they're a little loose because this last one is going to make up for like the lack of tension from the first 2 rubber bands. And then of course you're going to be securing it with bobby pins. The front of my hair is just a little shorter than the rest, so I don't want like the ends to be popping up. So that's where these bobby pins come in handy. Then to complete the look, you want to grab a good size scrunchie. Make sure it's a larger size scrunchie. This just helps to cover up the rubber bands, especially if you use multiple. And it just kind of hides it, and also just looks really cute. I got these from the dollar store, so you don't gotta break the bank to find really cute little hair accessories. And then this next one is optional. I personally didn't really like it, but if you don't really want the scrunchie and you maybe have a thin little scarf lying around, you can just tie that around the ponytail too, and it gives it another type of look as well. So again, play around with it. This video is to give you guys a foundation, but it's pretty open for you guys to accessorize, add whatever rubber bands you want, whatever bobby pins you want, whatever like barrettes or things. So play around with it and find the things that work for you. And then again, it's optional, but you're more than welcome to slick back your edges like I'm doing here. I just like a nice slick back edge. I think it completes the slick back ponytail. So whatever you feel comfortable with and whatever look you think works best for you. Now onto our fourth hairstyle. I was taking out the last one and I caught a glimpse of myself with this little like look, and I'm like, who is that?
what is this little like side part thing we got going on? Like, what is this? But anyway, back to the fourth hairstyle. So this one is gonna be a very cute, very simple half up, half down. It probably is extremely self-explanatory. I'm pretty sure every girl has done a half up, half down in their lifetime, so it's pretty self-explanatory. You're separating basically the front of the hair from the back of the hair, make it like a pretty even divide, and then just literally putting a ponytail over it. You know, you can use your brush to smooth it out to your likeness, or you can leave it fuzzy, whichever works for you. Again, playing around with the tension. You want it firm, not too tight, not too loose, and just put it up into a ponytail. Here, I'm just spraying it with some water and adding some oil to it just to rehydrate it. You're gonna see me pretty much moisturize my hair so much in this video because it's very important when you're doing protective styles, and then more importantly when you have locks, to make sure it's properly moisturized. Pretty simple. You can go in with your edges and add some baby hair, smooth down the front, and just kind of make it your own. The half up, half down, again, it's so simple, it's so easy to do. I do this one pretty much all the time, especially if I just want my hair out of my face for the day or for a little bit and I don't want my hair out. Then yeah, I'll just throw it up in a half up, half down, and we're all done. And then here's just some other variations. I'm taking like a larger rubber band here, and I don't really know the term, but I'm just like tucking in basically the top ponytail. I'm making it like a little bun type of thing, and then just putting some mousse to smooth it out again. Here, I'm just taking a scarf, a pretty thin scarf. You don't want it heavy, at least for this half up, half down. You're taking a nice thin scarf, putting it on the front, and then tying it in the back. And these little things just help to spice up your half up, half down. If you don't want it just as plain, then you can just add these things. You can add barrettes, you can add scrunchies, you can add like different colored rubber bands. Here, I'm just taking out that second rubber band that I put on and leaving the ponytail out. So make sure you have fun with it and just make it your own. Just have fun. And last but not least, for this fifth hairstyle, it's gonna be I don't really know what to call it, but we're gonna be using a scarf. We're gonna be using a scarf. We're starting off with taking a few pieces of the front of our hair and pinning it behind our ears. Typically you can get away with 2 pins on each side, depends on the hair, but for me I got 2 pins on each side, and I'm just making sure that the ends are properly tucked in so that they're not poking out when I have the hairstyle. Once your bobby pins are secure, you're gonna take the scarf from before, making sure you fold it like once or twice hamburger style to cut the width in half. And you're gonna line up the middle of the scarf with the top middle of your head, and then bring the ends behind you into a nice little knot. And it's pretty simple. I'm just fluffing out the back here because it did get a little flat. It might get flat like as you're tying it. Super cute, super simple, and the scarves just add a really nice touch to these like everyday, like low maintenance, simple little lock looks. And then I'm going in again by pulling out the front of my hair. I like having these 2 little pieces of hair in the front of my face. I personally think it frames my face pretty well, but you don't have to do it. Again, you can add a lot of variety to these styles, but this video is just to give you guys a good base and a good foundation to like take it wherever it is that you prefer to go. And there you have it. That is our 5th lock look. But wait, because I like you guys so much, here is a bonus look. So here's just something that it just came to mind honestly as I was doing these styles, but it's another version of the half up, half down. You're gonna want to have some claw clips on hand, like the larger size ones, and you're just beginning it how you began the half up, half down style, except you're kind of putting the ponytail more, I guess, like horizontal to your hair. If you remember like the first one, it was kind of angled more towards the top, but this one you're almost pulling it to the back, like lining it with your eyebrows or like with your eyes, if that makes sense. And then you're going in with your claw clip. Make sure it's a large size claw clip. I say like medium to large, because you have locks or because you have twist. Anything smaller is just gonna break honestly, or it's just not gonna capture or hold all of your hair. So you want to make sure it's a pretty large size. I got these from the dollar store. They honestly break pretty easily, but also I've had mine for a few years, so that might be why as well. But you can get a lot of these cute hair accessories from your local Dollar Tree, from your local beauty supply shop, Walmart. you don't have to break the bank when for like cute little hair accessories. And you know, for me, I can get a lot of them at just like a cute little dollar store or a cute Five Below. And sometimes you'll be surprised what actually works. It doesn't necessarily have to be something specific to hair, but if it looks cute and it adds a little personality and it helps you express yourself, then go for it, you know? Cute little hairstyle, cute little half up, half down for you guys to try in your next look.
Alright, thank you guys so much for watching. So those were 5 easy to do DIY low tension hairstyles, again, that you guys can use in between of your retwists. Go ahead and comment below which one was your favorite hairstyle, which one you're probably planning to try. Also, make sure that you like the video, which helps me know that you enjoyed it and that you would like to see more content like this again. There are so many more hairstyles that you can do with locks. They're so versatile. Don't let anybody tell you that they're not. And obviously, if your hair is like 1 inch short, 1 inch long, then yeah, it's not very versatile. But as you keep going, locks are very fun, they're very cute, they're very easy to maintain for the most part. And yeah, just have fun with it, you know? I'm not an advocate for calling the spaghetti phase the ugly phase. I know a lot of people call it that. I feel like it just puts a negative vibe on top of your journey. So I just like to call it the starter phase. Yes, it's gonna be frustrating to do styles that you want. When you see the lock girls on TikTok and on Instagram and on Pinterest and they have all these beautiful hairstyles, just know that that will be you eventually. You know, everyone has to, you have to start somewhere basically. And locks is one of those things where we all have to start at the same place. Unless you're one of those people that do instant locks, which to each their own, I guess. But do not be discouraged. The further you go down the line, you can try even more hairstyles. Make sure you go ahead and save the video so you can come back to it to recreate these looks for yourself. And you can also share with a friend who you know is struggling to find styles for their locks. Don't forget to check out some other content I have on here, other lock content in between my videos. You can check out my Instagram, my Lemon8, just for other things that I do. Alright, so thank you guys so much for watching, for supporting your girl, and I will see you in the next video.